Hello everyone. My name is Hunter, and this piece of tech is named the PlayStation VR2, PlayStation's successor to the PlayStation VR, well, 1, obviously. And I've been using this for over a week now, and I've been playing games such as Horizon Call of the Mountain and Star Wars Tales of the Galaxy's Edge Enhanced Edition, while using its many features such as the 4K HDR OLED screen, eye tracking, foveated rendering, finger touch detection, 110-degree field of view, and much more. By the way, I've added chapters to this video, so if you need to find a certain thing you're looking for, you can just skip ahead a bit. Hopefully I got everything that you need. Now when you open the box, you will find a few things inside. One, of course, is the headset itself, along with its cable, which I will talk about later. Next is a USB-C charging cable for the two PSVR2 Sense controllers. Speaking of, the PSVR2 Sense controllers. You will then find a pair of stereo headphones and 3 pairs of earpieces for it, so you can try and find the size that feels just right for your ears, whether that be small, medium, or large. You'll find some printed materials like the instruction booklet, and lastly, only if you bought the Horizon Call of the Mountain bundle from the PlayStation Store, you will find the voucher code for the game in the box as well. Sadly, the Horizon Call of the Mountain bundle does not come with a physical game disc or case. PlayStation recommends that you use the box here for storage, which is what I have been doing for the past week. And while it makes the PSVR 2 itself much more capable of taking to other places like a friend or family member's house, that doesn't really matter as you need to have it plugged into your PlayStation 5 at all times to power it. All the power on this headset is coming directly from the PS5. That means if you don't have a PS5, you can't use this headset at all. Setting up the headset is relatively quick and simple. Just plug the cable into the USB-C port on your PlayStation 5 console. Press the button under the middle of the headset to turn it on, press the button in the dial on the back of the headset to pull out the headband, and push the button on the top front right of the headset to pull the screen out. Slip it over your head, push the button on the front of the headset again to pull the screen to your eyes, and turn the dial on the back of the headset to tighten the headband. The two Sense controllers both have wrist straps on them to help you not have to buy a new TV after you accidentally chuck them at the screen. The button layout is like the DualSense controller, just split in two. Triangle, square, create buttons on the left controller, circle, X, and the menu button is on the right. Both controllers have a joystick, trigger, and a button on the back that are mainly used for gripping things in games. And lastly, you will see the signature PS buttons to access the home menu and the PSVR 2 quick settings. The PSVR 2 has 3 play modes: sitting, standing, and room scale. Room scale is the most versatile of the three as it lets you physically walk around the room in real life and mimic that in the game. The issue with this is that it requires you to have a cleared square space of 6 feet 7 inches by 6 feet 7 inches. During the initial setup of the PSVR 2, you will have a chance to set your play space by using the 4 cameras on the front of the headset to scan the room. Then you can edit your play area by using the controllers to add or subtract from the play area. If the headset determines that you have enough space that is equal to or larger than the 6 feet 7 inch by 6 feet 7 inch, you can then use room scale mode in games. Room scale mode is unfortunately required for some PSVR 2 games like Job Simulator. If you try to start a game like this, it just won't let you and will tell you that you need a bigger play area. Luckily, PSVR 2 games tell you if room scale mode is required in the descriptions on the PlayStation Store. Also, if you press the button under the right side of the headset, you can use the cameras to see where you are in the room without having to take the headset off. The cameras are in black and white, and it is difficult to make out small images like text on your cell phone if you're just trying to see what the time is. If you are worried about running into a wall or your furniture while wearing the headset, the PSVR 2 will tell you if you're close to leaving your play space by having a wall appear in the game when you get near the edges of your play area. To me, this headset feels comfortable and light due to its soft padding and a lack of battery and processing power due to all that being in the PlayStation 5. It only feels uncomfortable if I try to lie down and watch a movie above me, but that seems pretty obvious. And when I wear my glasses, it fits quite nicely inside. I have also found myself sweating a bit in the headset. PlayStation encourages you to clean your headset by taking the mask off, cleaning it with water, and drying it with a dry cloth. It can take a minute or two to put it back on, but it's not that difficult. It snaps into place fairly well. Plus, it may be worth it for your headset not to smell like sweat. The initial setup for the controllers asks you to plug in each controller to the console using the provided USB-C cable. And once you do that, the controllers will be connected anytime you wake up the console and press the PS buttons. I find these controllers comfortable in the hand and easy to use during long play sessions. The earbuds that come with the PSVR 2 deliver amazing sound performance, giving you 3D audio so that you can hear where a machine is stalking you in Horizon Call of the Mountain.
Watcher. Good thing I found a bow.
Or hear some kind of creature smashing furniture upstairs in Resident Evil Village. They can be easily stored on the headset itself, and the earbuds can be protected by the little sockets on the sides. However, while the earbuds sound great, I would recommend that you use the PlayStation's Pulse 3D wireless headset. I don't find this combination of the PSVR 2 and the over-the-ear headphones at all uncomfortable. I just think they sound much better and have all the features of the earbuds, but they do cost another $100, so the earbuds may be fine enough. After you set up your play area, you will then calibrate your visibility by turning the dial on the top left of the headset to move the frontal lenses to line up with your eyes. Then you will calibrate the eye tracking, which is used in games, whether that be for navigating menus in Horizon Call the Mountain just by looking at the options, or choosing weapon loadouts in Firewall Ultra just by looking at the weapons on the weapon wheel. You can adjust both of these features as well as your play area in the quick settings you can find just by clicking the PS button on the Sense controllers. Lastly, the headset also has haptic feedback, which can make gaming scenarios like hitting a wall in Gran Turismo 7 all the more impactful as your headset vibrates. Just like the DualSense controller, the Sense controllers have haptic feedback and adaptive triggers. I love the adaptive triggers on the DualSense controller, so putting the feature on the Sense controllers and combining them with VR adds a whole new level of immersion. Pulling the trigger of a blaster in Star Wars Tales of the Galaxy's Edge feels like I'm actually pulling the trigger of the blaster. There is also a feature called finger touch detection. The Sense controllers can sense where your fingers are and mimic them in the game. I haven't found a great use of the feature yet, besides just making hand gestures. I recommend that you turn on the tracking support option in the settings of your PlayStation 5. It helps the PSVR2 with its tracking capabilities by putting a border around the TV, making it easier for the headset to recognize. The PSVR2 has 2000 by 2040 4K resolution screens for each eye. This makes scenes in games look almost immaculate. Being that your eyes are only a few centimeters away from the screen, however, it won't exactly look like 4K like you see on your TV. I mean, if you look close enough at your own 4K TV, you're going to see pixels as well. But what I think really helps with this is the fact that the screens are also OLED. OLED screens can literally turn pixels off, making black images look especially dark and blending pixels so that they can't be seen. This looks especially good in dark settings such as the cave in Horizon Call the Mountain or the spaceship interiors in Star Wars Tales of the Galaxy's Edge. But I found certain lighter scenes in games, especially landscapes during the daytime, to feel a bit underwhelming. When I played the demo for Resident Evil Village, they start you off by walking in the dead of night, listening to the sounds of the creatures around you, and the combination of the darkness and the OLED screens made the game feel much scarier. But as soon as I stepped out into the daylight and saw Castle Dimitrescu towering over the village below, I started to see the pixels again. Now don't get me wrong, the castle scene still looks incredible. Also, I was very impressed with the objects that I was close to in the games. I was impressed by the textures of the clothes in the closets of an abandoned home in Resident Evil Village, and holding the blaster in my hand in Star Wars Tales of the Galaxy's Edge looks downright real. Gran Turismo 7's VR mode puts you into the seat of its cars, and the interiors look terrific. I don't even see any pixels when I look around the car's interior. It's extremely impressive. The headset also displays 120 FPS, so the games look incredibly smooth. Gran Turismo 7 runs buttery smooth on that frame rate as you make your way past other cars. Lastly, the headset also includes a 110-degree field of view. I can barely see the edges of the lenses when I look through the headset, no matter where I look with my eyes. The PSVR2 also uses a feature called foveated rendering, which is supposed to make things you're looking at clear while blurring around what you're not looking at to save processing power. To be honest with you, I've never actually noticed this in game, but to be fair, that's kind of the point of what it's for. You're not supposed to notice it. The PlayStation VR2 launches with over 40 games. I have played 4 of those games over the past week along with a demo. I played Horizon Call the Mountain, Gran Turismo 7, Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, Enhanced Edition, Job Simulator, and the Resident Evil Village demo. I enjoy playing every one of these games, but I find myself a bit disappointed. Horizon Call the Mountain is the PSVR2's headlining title. I found this game to be an incredible graphical and technical showcase of the PSVR2, and I feel like it's a bit like Astro's Playroom, the game that came with the PS5, as it shows you the ropes of how to use the VR headset, just like Astro's Playroom showed you the ropes of how to use the DualSense controller. And while I had a lot of fun with the game, I can't say I wasn't disappointed at times. While I love the climbing in the game, it feels to be about 70% of the game itself, and it feels like you only get to fight machines when you're at the end of one of those many long climbs. The Horizon franchise is not just about platforming, but combat and role-playing too. Again, I did love the game, it's just disappointing that for being the headlining PSVR 2 title, it wasn't as spectacular as I thought it could have been. On another note, I've noticed that a lot of the PlayStation VR 2's launch lineup are either ports or upgrades for existing non-VR games. For example, Star Wars Tales of the Galaxy's Edge, this is called the Enhanced Edition, compared to its previous release on the MetaQuest. And then Job Simulator is just about on every VR headset out there. Gran Turismo 7 and Resident Evil Village just got their VR capabilities through updates. The point I am trying to make here is that besides Horizon Call the Mountain, there is not a lot of big original content for the PSVR 2 as of now. I wouldn't consider this an issue if it wasn't for the fact that we currently don't know what the next big original game for the PSVR 2 is going to be. Is Horizon Call of the Mountain going to be Sony's only first party AAA game on the system? Are we going to get any future AAA games from third parties? While I doubt the PSVR 2 is going to be completely left in the dust with a lack of new first party games, I am worried that there just won't be many. Now, when you're not playing a VR game, such as navigating the PlayStation 5's menus, playing a game that isn't VR, or watching YouTube videos or movies, the PSVR 2 will put you in what it calls cinematic mode. Cinematic mode puts you in a virtual space of essentially pitch black nothingness, except for you and whatever your PlayStation 5 is playing on the TV. You can change the size of the screen by going to your quick settings, so you can make use of that 110 field of view on your headset, or you can make it small so you can see the entire thing without having to turn your head. And although it doesn't look 4K, considering how close you are to the screen, it still does look amazing. Honestly, it looks just a bit better than 1080p. Also, if you're watching a video, you can bring it up to 120 Hz through the headset by navigating to the settings on the PlayStation 5 and turning on the switch. However, the video will not play on the TV if you decide to turn this feature on. Probably the best use case for cinematic mode is the fact that you can still use it while the TV is off. So you can have a family member watching something on the TV while you're playing a game or watching something else in your headset, so you don't have to hog the TV. Now, I don't consider this a point against the PSVR 2, but I would like to see some options for something a little bit different than the pitch black emptiness that we see in cinematic mode. Like maybe we could be sitting in a virtual movie theater, or we could get a different color to surround us rather than just pitch black. Again, no points taken from the PSVR 2 here. I just think that that'd be very fun. Also, I'm a bit disappointed that you can't watch 360 YouTube videos in the PSVR 2, but I don't think it's a PlayStation issue. I believe that's a feature that YouTube can implement with a software update. While YouTube videos may not be as interactive as a video game, I still think there's much enjoyment to be had with the plethora of VR videos on YouTube. Now, I need to talk about this. Hide your kids, hide your pets, because this cable is a menace. I've been wrapped up in this cable, I've tripped over it, I've even accidentally yanked the cord out of the PlayStation 5 a few times. One time my dog got into the play area without me knowing, and he accidentally tripped over the cable, knocking my PlayStation 5 down to the floor. Despite this though, I do know that the cord is necessary for what this headset offers. All the power that comes through this headset probably wouldn't be possible without this cable here. And also, it'd probably drive up the price a few $100 if all the processing power was in this headset alone. And this video probably wouldn't be made in the first place. Overall, I think the PlayStation VR 2 is an amazing machine with incredible picture quality, impressive technical features, and a simple setup process. But that doesn't answer the question of whether or not it's worth the high price. Personally, I do not regret purchasing the PlayStation VR 2 whatsoever. I've had a great deal of fun with this machine, but that doesn't mean I don't think it's a little overpriced. My biggest concern with the PlayStation VR 2 is its game support. The quality of Horizon Call of the Mountain gives me hope that PlayStation is really serious about making the PSVR 2 work, and supporting it with many games to come. But again, PlayStation hasn't announced any future AAA games for the PSVR 2 yet. In the end, the support or lack of for the PSVR 2 worries me. So my recommendation is this. I think the PlayStation VR 2 headset itself is worth it. If you are satisfied with the games that it is currently offering, then yes, I would recommend the PSVR 2. If none or only a few of the PSVR 2 games really strike your attention, then I would recommend holding off for a while to see what game support the headset will get in the future. I mean, it's all about the games, and without games, this thing is just a bulky blindfold. Thank you for watching this video. This is my first review ever, and I do implore you to give me some fair criticism or tell me something that I missed in the comments below. Thank you again for watching this video. If you would like to see me lose every friend I ever get in Star Wars Tales from the Galaxy's Edge, then click this video here. If you wish to see me fumble down mountains and cliffs onto my face in Horizon Call of the Mountain, then click this video here. And until next time, goodbye.